Hello you. I am 55 years old and I've been married twice. I was married once when I was about 19, and I was married again when I was in my early 40s. But I'm never going to get married again. Because looking at it for now, I don't know, it just seems a bit weird and anachronistic. I mean, I know the reasons why I got married on both those occasions. The first time was, I don't know, I was on autopilot, I was like 19. I already had a child at that time. All my friends around me were doing it, it was kind of unthinking, dropping into the groove, So I just rolled up at that registry office in Blackburn and did the deed, But and later on, the second time I got married, was for purely pragmatic reasons. My wife is American, and we needed to do the citizenship thing. And it was good fun, actually. It was a great spirited occasion. But I would never do it again. And in fact, the whole idea of marriage seems a bit weird to me. I mean, I guess this is partly inspired by some of the stuff that's happening on YouTube in relation to Happy Cabby's video, which prompted a lot of interesting ideas in me, actually. I'm very kind of grateful for that whole discussion. But one of the things it's reminded me of is the weirdness of marriage and how we attach ourselves so emotionally to it. Even those of us who are supposedly kind of relatively free thinkers. And how much we want to get involved in that institution. The old joke, marriage is an institution, but who wants to live in an institution? How we want to attach ourselves to an institution which has such ancient roots and such weird roots and such religiously inspired roots. I mean, the roots of marriage, the social roots of marriage presumably are about maintaining bloodlines and ensuring that inheritance can go can be held, and power can be held within families. That's why the old pharaohs used to marry their sisters and brothers, and that's why all the kings and queens and aristocracy of Europe are all intertwined in marriage, to make sure that power stays within a particular part of the gene pool, isn't it? So the origins of the function, the social function of marriage, are absolutely to do with childbirth and the promulgation of a certain kind of gene pool or gene line. And the religious origins of marriage just kind of piggyback on the top of that, don't they, and give kind of divine authority to that genetic process, socially genetic process. It's weird, but very few people, I think, get married for those reasons now. We get married for a host of reasons. We get married because we're in love with one another, or we get married because we want some kind of a ceremony, or we want to demonstrate in the face of this congregation, as it says in the ceremony, we want to make a public declaration of our commitment to one another. But it's very rarely to do with just this man and this woman blending DNA strands anymore. That usually comes out of it, or more often than not, but that's not the basis of it, is it? And it's certainly not the basis of things like gay marriage. It doesn't make any sense in that regard. No, the idea of marriage just needs an overhaul, really. And I don't understand why people are attached to it. Why are people attached to it? Why aren't people inventing other processes? Why aren't people inventing, even if you're religious, why aren't you inventing a church that has all the attributes that you want? That does allow you to get married in the way that you want, or that does allow you to be joined in some kind of semi-contractual, semi-social, semi-spiritual way with other people. I mean, why don't you just invent new ceremonies? I don't understand the attachment to this atavistic, biological, weird institution of the default set marriage thing. It's just too odd, I think. If I was going to join it together again, I'm not saying I wouldn't, because as I say, I've done this process twice. And if I did meet someone or just wanted to get involved in it, I wouldn't do the marriage thing. I'd do a different thing, and I think I'd probably call it cleaving, because I love the word cleave or cleavage, and the fact that cleaving is about coming together but going apart simultaneously. I like all that, but I would want different kinds of cleavages with different kinds of relationships. So I can imagine myself, like if, for example, if I wanted to have an active sexual relationship with a partner, whether that be a man or a woman. Probably a woman in my case, since I'm straight, but who knows? Then that would be written into the terms of that cleaving or that cleavage. But I might also want to make a different kind of marriage contract, different kind of cleavage contract, there wasn't sexual, it might be just to do, I don't know, I'm just trying to imagine other kinds of things it could be about. Or it could even be between two or three people, couldn't it? Because there's always this kind of legal aspect to these comings together, isn't there? So you would need to build into your cleavage arrangements what the legal rights and responsibilities were. But that's something I would do. I would reject the whole marriage thing. You know, gay or straight or whatever, I would just say that marriage thing, that's just about having kids and it's in the presence of God and in the face of a congregation. No, we're not going to get married anymore. We're going to cleave from now on. And we'll cleave for different reasons with different people. And we've got to fight for the right to cleavage.